This past weekend, we turned $1 into 1,450. And in this video, we're gonna go over exactly how I was able to do that. I, along with many other community members, were able to take advantage of these odds. Here's a look at a couple other winners. Obviously, life-changing money for a lot of people. But let me be very clear, it's not every day you hit a plus 144,000 odds parlay. A matter of fact, this parlay had a 0.07% chance to hit. No, not 7%, 0.07% chance to hit. In other words, a 1 in 1,450 chance. To put this further in perspective, you have better odds to bet on the Carolina Panthers to win the Super Bowl this year. And I'm not kidding, the Carolina Panthers right now on FanDuel are set to plus 70,000 odds. So that basically means that FanDuel is giving them around a 0.14% chance to win the Super Bowl this year. And I hit a parlay this past weekend with worse odds. But what if I told you I actually got better odds than 0.07% chance for that exact same parlay? What if I told you I got those exact same payouts, the plus 144,000 odds, at maybe a 1% chance to hit? Would you take that offer? And that might seem confusing on the surface, but really, that is the entire strategy I'm going to talk about in this video. And that strategy that we're talking about in this video today is going to be called the plus EV betting strategy. This strategy can be implemented for fantasy sports, for sports books, for sweepstakes apps, whatever you choose. But basically, the plus EV betting strategy boils down to one simple concept. The percent chance to hit for a specific parlay that you get actually outweigh the price that you pay for that parlay. So let's break this down into a simpler example. You walk into a car dealership, literally any car dealership, right? And you go to the most brand new Honda Civic, 2025 Honda Civic, have no idea what the actual price is, but let's say that price tag on that Honda Civic is $5,000. I know for a fact that a brand new car, regardless of whatever the make and model, is not worth $5,000, at least not this day and age, right? That would be a plus EV buy or a plus EV purchase, right? And that same kind of concept applies for sports betting. When you peel back the layers of every single leg that you're betting in a parlay, each leg has an associated underlying price. And in this viral slip that I hit, every single leg had an underlying price on Fliff that didn't match up with the true percent odds to hit. For instance, let's actually break down one of the legs I included in my viral slip. If we take a look here at the under 34 total score for the Bears and Texans game, you can see on Fliff I hit that at plus 440 odds. Fliff is giving this, for example, an 18.52% chance to hit based on those implied odds. But at the time of including that leg in my parlay that I got on Fliff at plus 440 odds, the entire market was valuing this closer to plus 350 odds. This is equivalent to a 22.22% chance to hit. And when I talk about the market, I'm talking about DraftKings, FanDuel, Pinnacle, all the major sports books. They all valued this closer to a plus 350 price tag, which equates to actually a higher probability than what Fliff is saying that the probability is. See, each probability is associated with some underlying American odds, and otherwise known as a simple price tag that you pay for that player prop or game prop. And that's all the plus EV betting strategy is. It's about identifying those mispriced game props, player props, anything in the market using real-time sportsbook data. If 10 other sportsbooks agree with a price tag, but that one other price tag, which is Fliff in this example, is off, you take advantage of that price tag on Fliff. So that 0.07% chance that Fliff was giving me for that price tag was actually closer to 1 to 2% chance. So now for the rest of this video, I'm going to show you my exact process on how I landed on the 6-leg parlay that turned $1 into 1,450. The software that I used to find this parlay is called the DG Fantasy Optimizer, and specifically the Fliff Optimizer. So basically what the optimizer does is it scans the market, scans every game prop, every player prop in the entire market on Fliff, and then compares it directly to the sportsbook market. So as you can see at the very top here, this Iowa versus Minnesota matchup, Iowa has a minus 7.5 spread, meaning that they are expected to win by 7.5 points. At least they're giving this, right now Fliff is giving this a plus 250 price tag for them to cover that spread, right? So if we take a look at the market, FanDuel and DraftKings are actually saying, do you know what? This has more favorable odds. The closer to plus 100, if you're on the plus side, means it's more favorable to hit. So on FanDuel, we have a plus 210 chance and a DraftKings price tag of plus 184, thus giving us average market odds of plus 196. But Fliff is all the way over here valuing this at a plus 250 odds or chance to hit. So if we switch over to the odds jam calculator right now, Fliff is giving this a 28.57% chance to hit based on the American odds of plus 250. However, when we take a look at the market, it's actually being valued at a 31.69% chance to hit. The EV, the expected value that you're getting on this individual leg, is 3.12%. That is a 3.12% edge just on this one leg. And that's what the DG Fantasy Optimizer does. It prioritizes the legs with the highest edge, right? With the biggest edge in terms of plus EV percentage. So as you can see here at the top, the Iowa versus Minnesota point spread, even though, technically it doesn't have the greatest percent chance to hit, it still has an edge when according to the market odds, right? So now what we can begin to do is put all these individual legs into one single parlay. And that is exactly the process on how I ended up turning this $1 into $1,400, right? So let's go ahead and just go through this. Let's put together the individual parlay. And since Fliff is a mobile-only application, I can't do it here on the desktop, but I can go ahead and put this into a calculator and show you what these implied odds would be, right? If I were to put this in on Fliff. So let's take this Iowa versus Minnesota game and first put those odds into a parlay, right? We're going to go ahead and go down to this Miami, Ohio versus Notre Dame. As you can see here, plus 145 on Fliff, but plus 120 and plus 124 here on these other books. So again, we're assuming that we're putting this in on Fliff. Plus 145. We already took the Iowa and Minnesota game, so we had to skip over that. And then Bowling Green versus Texas A&M at plus 300. As you can see here, plus 255 and plus 246 here on these other books. We get a lot more value by simply entering this on Fliff. And I'm going to skip over here these crazy odds here for soccer just to show you a simpler example. So I'm going to go directly down here to this Miami, Florida and South Florida one over first quarter total points over 14. Set the plus 105 on Fliff, but you're getting us at minus 116, minus 105, and minus 125 when looking at the market. So clear value here. We're going to put this in plus 105 here on Fliff. And then Duke versus Middle Tennessee under 42.5 total points, plus 305. And then last but not least, this Vanderbilt versus Missouri under 43.5 total points set to plus 315, but the market setting it closer to plus 265, plus 315. And that gives us total parlay odds. Glitch here. Total parlay odds of plus 118,000, right? So keep that in mind. Now that parlay, if I were to take off the top of the Fliff optimizer, right? If I put that in to Fliff, the odds would be plus 118,000, which would give me a 0.08% chance of hitting this according to Fliff, right? But those are not the real probabilities for hitting that entire parlay by comparing directly to the market. So now let's take the odds, what the market views the odds as, and compare those directly to Fliff's. So now all we're going to do is take the average odds, so plus 199, again, for the exact same legs, plus 122, plus 250, minus 115, plus 257, and last but not least, plus 233 according to the average market odds, which gives me parlay odds of plus 51,535. So plus 51,000 odds, that gives me a 0.2% chance of hitting. So there you have it. The edge in which the market values the percentage odds for this entire parlay to hit is 0.2%. But on Fliff, it's valuing it at a 0.08% chance. Thus, overall, the parlay odds give me a 0.12% edge. Now, even though that edge is smaller, I would much rather take a 0.2% probability over a 0.08% probability. But anyway, hopefully you guys get the point here. The edge is simply looking at the market, comparing those odds, getting the consensus data, and then directly comparing it back to Fliff, right? And once you find those small edges over the long term, those edges do add up, thus giving you, hopefully, a lifetime changing money. And again, if you guys are interested in signing up for this tool, this is code. You can use code MATT. That gives you 35% off the DG Fantasy bundle. What we do is we take it a step further at DGF and we actually show you the exact slips that you should be entering. We show you the profit margin, the compounded percent EV on each specific slip that we recommend. So based on everything that I just showed you in the last optimizer, this is a separate subscription. This is the AI slip generator. It shows you exactly the slip that you should be entering that gives you the greatest edge over the long term. And I get it. Not everybody is built for the long shot parlays. So that's exactly why we give you 2-man parlays to select from. So if you wanted to just enter the top 2 here, we give you the exact slips that you should be entering that show you an edge long term. But that's it, guys. That is exactly the strategy that you should be implementing if you want to make money long term. This is the plus EV betting strategy. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this content. If you did, please do it that subscription, notification bell, and of course smash that like button for all of our future content. And with all that being said, have a great rest of your day and let's cash.